Hello guys, it's me Simo Orahara, and first of all guys, before we go to this topic video, I want to inform you that my activity on the channel it will become less than before starting from today because I have exams in the middle of the next month, but this will not stop me from uploading videos. It will not be like before, and I'm speaking just about the next month. So usually I don't say this, but if someone of you really love my content, you can support me through super thanks or through becoming a membership in my channel. And as a thanks in return, I can give you some of my old motion manga videos as a gift. The thing is, the more support I can get, it will take away some of the heavy burdens on my shoulders the next month, and it will make easy for me to balance my work here on the channel and also my personal life. And I already have these three amazing heroes that are sticking with me and supporting me, and they are Resolution 67, KMCK and Rebus 200. So thank you so much guys, I really appreciate it. So guys, in this video we'll talk about this person. Who is he? Mostly after the final episode of the first part of the anime, this question will be trending on all social media sites, because the truth about the Osan Zangetsu is one of the biggest surprises that Kubo revealed in the story, and I personally consider it among the best things he has done so far, because he was foreshadowing it from the beginning of the story. And of course in this video I don't want to talk only about the information that has been revealed regarding the identity of Osan Zangetsu, but I also want to go deep a little into this character and try to ask other questions about him, because the Osan Zangetsu as a personality, before we knew his true identity, he had a great weight and influence on Ichigo, as he is one of the main sources of his power, but he also played a big role as a protector and a teacher of Ichigo. I may say that the Osan Zangetsu is the closest person to Ichigo more than anyone else, more than Orihime, more than Rukia, more than Isshin, etc. Why? Osan Zangetsu was by Ichigo's side in many moments when Ichigo was alone and on the brink of death or defeat. Perhaps everyone remembers the iconic appearance of Osan Zangetsu when Ichigo was fighting Zaraki, or even before those events. Because when you read the story again by imagining that this person was never the Shinigami power of Ichigo or his Zanpakuto, you will see the Osan Zangetsu in a different way. But before going into detail on this aspect, it's okay to clarify for some fans that the Osan Zangetsu is not Yhwach himself. I'm talking about the personality, because one of them is the king of Quincy's, who is the father of all the Quincy's, and the second is the Quincy power of Ichigo, which was embodied in the form of Yhwach. Yhwach has his own personality and goals, while the Osan Zangetsu also has his own independent personality, and he has his own philosophy, which centered around protecting Ichigo. So guys, let's go back to the main question: who is Osan? First of all, we agree that he is the Quincy power of Ichigo, which in some way was embodied in the form of Yhwach. And here I ask a specific question: is Ichigo the only person whose Quincy power was embodied in the form of an independent entity, or do all Quincy's have this feature? I mean, for example, each one of them has his own Spirit's Quincy character, or is what happened to Ichigo is just for him only? And this is what I really suggest. I mean, the rest of the Quincy's are related to Yhwach through the blood that flows through their veins, while Ichigo is considered a special case, and perhaps Yhwach wanted to take advantage of Ichigo being from his offspring, and for that he tried to make his Quincy power in his form, and thus make the Osan control Ichigo according to what Yhwach wants. But it seems that the Osan had the ability to impose his own personality and what he wanted, and not what Yhwach wanted. And so maybe this is really what happened, or it's just Ichigo's Quincy power was formed in the form of Yhwach, since he is the father of the Quincy's and nothing else. However, this won't change the fact that Osan took all the main features of Yhwach, except one point, and I think is the Almighty. How is that? You will find that the Osan's real name is Yhwach. His shape is the same as Yhwach. His voice is the same as Yhwach. He can use shadows like him. And as I said in a previous video about Ichigo's Zanpakuto, Yhwach in Ichigo has almost the same shape of sword. It's like you're saying that the Osan has Lloyd ability to copy Yhwach's core power away from the Almighty. And this brings me to another point. Did Osan Zangetsu have the same knowledge that Royd Lloyd had as well, like knowing the history of Yhwach and how he fought Yamamoto 1,000 years ago, and perhaps other things? I will talk about them shortly. But let's go back to the first appearance of Yhwach. If you go back to the scene of his appearance, you will see a strange scene. When Kisuke offered Ichigo that training, the purpose was to awaken his Shinigami power. Ichigo was just a soul, meaning his Shinigami power that was inside his soul wasn't awakened yet. Then we saw Ichigo inside his inner world, and there was their first meeting. However, a simple question arises. If the Osan was really Ichigo Zanpakuto in his Shinigami power, how could he even appear to Ichigo and talk to him, as long as Ichigo at that moment was just a soul? And this really means that this person from the beginning was never Ichigo's Shinigami power. He was only guiding Ichigo towards his Shinigami powers and telling him that his real Shinigami power had not been awakened yet, and that they were inside one of the boxes. Therefore, I think that these were clear indications that Zangetsu the Osan was not Ichigo's Shinigami power from the start, and perhaps he never wanted to make Ichigo awaken his Shinigami powers, but rather he did so because Ichigo's life at the time was at stake. There were only two options: either Ichigo becomes a Shinigami or he transforms into a hollow completely and dies. And this leads us to the important point that I want to talk about, that the Osan has a lot of information. Imagine with me that the Osan is the first person to give us the concept of Asauchi. When he brought Asauchi to Ichigo, he told him that this is a nameless Zanpakuto, taking into account that he is just a Quincy power. I mean, imagine with me, for example, Senbon Sakura, who is a Shinigami power, knows the secrets of the blood vein, which is a Quincy technique. See what I mean? So the Osan Zangetsu reached a stage where he knew everything related to Shinigamis. So what about the world of the Quincy's? And this is something really I wanted to know, and I said in one of my old videos that I consider the Osan Zangetsu the best gateway to know who Yhwach is and some unknown Quincy techniques, and even a way to defeat Yhwach, because as I said, the Osan Zangetsu took everything from Yhwach, so why not he took some of his memory, as long as the Osan is first and foremost linked to Yhwach because he is the king of the Quincy's, and as we said, he possesses his appearance and his voice and his name, and even I think his sword. So maybe the Osan Zangetsu has some information that nobody knows except him. And I really wished if Kubo had given Zangetsu another chance to appear. It appears that Ichigo also wanted to know more about him, especially his name. Because as we know, Ichigo thought Zangetsu its real name, but since it turns out he's not true Zangetsu, he was wondering about his real name. And I can't imagine that if Osan Zangetsu has another chance to appear, he will tell Ichigo a shocking truth about Yhwach, and maybe he can teach him a new technique. Who knows? So guys, tell me your opinion about this amazing character who is Zangetsu, and see you in my next video.